Hello YouTube. What I got here is a red LED fully submerged in this water bowl that is glass. And I know it's a little bit hard to see here, but um, essentially if I go ahead and touch this ground here, you can see it really light up and then kill itself. So as you can see, those LEDs are still lit, so it was just a momentary thing, and the scalar field didn't actually collapse. What I didn't realize at the time until I pulled this out was that this wire had actually melted off, uh, and so it wasn't really actually connected proper, so it wasn't working. Um, yeah, kind of interesting that it can melt a wire that's submerged in water, but the LED doesn't burn up. Um, yeah, as you can see, I got a few water cells now, and I've changed a few things. I'll just show it in the video now. You know, like these capacitor banks, they had blown up, so I'd replace them with more proper capacitors that I resalvaged. And as you know, the infamous bulb, like Tesla style, and then we got the megs here, the toroidal flow. This is the AD node right here. This is the oscillation point between hot and cold. Note the spark gaps on either side. And yeah, so what I had going there was basically off of this AD node. I'm powering this, basically stringing these positives together. So it comes off this AD node through this diode right here, through this resistor and Scotchy diode. So the cathode is to the center rod here, and that's into this solution, which is just grounded. Um, and basically that is going, oh, this solution, by the way, is just like activated carbon and water. So it's not, there's just magnetic sand around it and whatnot. So yeah, I'd run this over here through the LED into the water, even submerging both sides. It works best when you're holding it to only hold one side, but it does work a little bit when you hold the other side. And then this other side was going to my ground wire right here, which is connected under the brass fitting under the sink. And that ground wire is this guy right here going into this solution. So it's indirectly connected to this through the water going to my ground of my battery. Um, so yeah, just wanted to show that. Got this loop back in a sense of a scalar recapture from here to here. It's not working the best because these aren't the right proper diodes. Basically, I turned these diodes off, these LEDs, light emitting diodes, by adding this germanium diode. So basically, um, it the forward voltage is being taken out from this, and I'm using this instead because these were just too bright. It was just too much. But it was charging these a little bit better with this, so I know more current was going through here with this configuration, even though it was emitting so much light. So what I thought I would do is like put multiple in parallel to get more through, but that didn't seem to work so good because it's just not the right type of diode exactly. So what I did was I ordered some diodes that I'm having shipped here, and yeah, I changed out these solutions to make it more just plain water because I didn't want like any salts in there because I noticed it was reacting even though it wasn't supposed to be. Uh, Apparently, scalar waves drive chemistry that normally wouldn't happen because the harmonics can build it to the Gibbs free energy level, which I didn't know before, but now I do. And so, yeah, kind of cool. This did stay green one night. It was before I added these, and these LEDs were really bright. This would stay green all night long. Now that I have these diodes on like this, it's the 1N270. It's not quite the right one. It's just what I had. And so, yeah, now it doesn't stay green. It just stays red all night, which means it does see energy. basically, if it doesn't see energy, this will turn off entirely. So that's normally what happens. But if it sees some energy but not the required threshold, it'll just be red. Red just indicates like some sort of fault or something. Um, yeah, this is just kind of like a oscillator. I found out that it's actually fried, so I'm just holding it in my left hand. I'm just touching it with my right. So my toe is just barely touching the ground. So now I'm grounded more solid with my left foot. And you can see how much brighter it is now. So I'll go ahead and connect this up again. Okay, you see now I got the LED connected. So I'll plop it in the water and we see it light up right away. So when it's out, no light. When it's in, you see it really light up, right? So now I'm facing it at the camera. So if I submerge the other side, it stays lit, which is pretty cool, but it does dim. Part of that I think is light refraction, but I think part of it is the actual dimming. So if I were to touch this, right, I can light it. If I were to touch this side, and if I ground my feet good enough, sometimes I can get it to light okay if I ground enough. Yeah, so now I'm more grounded because I wet my foot, and look how much more is coming out of that. So that's just by making my foot wet here and grounding myself. So now I'm going to pull my feet up. Yeah. So kind of cool. So yeah, I can put my feet in here and wow, that's a strong energy from my foot ground to this. I could barely take that, honestly. Um, both feet in like this, that's no problem. Um, 1 foot there to 1 foot there, that was a little intense, not gonna lie. And I can feel more energy going through this portion than this portion, which is good because I'm focusing on this portion of my foot. I got bit by a flesh-eating spider a long time ago, and then I got MRSA on top of it from my biohazard job, and then so excuse my language, but this is me trying to heal myself, and it's been an ongoing process of many, many months. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I've noticed that if I touch myself with this, wherever I touch myself, I can feel a lot more energy there and it can burn. So be careful, maybe try not to even have it touching a specific spot. You can even see like little bubbles come up. You see that? So we're literally making HHO off of this LED, off of the ground. So if you want to wonder how the ancients did it with the Great Pyramid and how the Great Pyramid worked, this is a little key insight for you, because you should look at the 3D inner structure. There's a 3D model by I think Harvard that they show the inner caverns and you can walk through them and you'll see that it's made for hydrogen flow. And you'll see that the King's Chamber is a harmonic resonator where a lit candle would ignite that at a certain level at which it would fill from top to bottom, right? So once it reached the candle level where there's notches in the wall, you can see where it'd be held. That would ignite and go off. Now, what would happen if that candle weren't lit or it went out and they thought it was lit? You'd have a bigger explosion that would make a crack, and there's evidence of that in the King's Chamber. So yeah, you can see all these tiny bubbles. Kind of cool, right? So that's only been a few minutes and that's happening. And this is just ground to ground. Well, it's my AD node to ground, so it's technically this is like my positive and this is like my negative. But essentially it's a relative ground. Um, and That was a lot of gas, wasn't it? It's a lot of gas now. Look how close that is. Maybe Stanley Meyer knew something. This is this is just like not even touching it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not touching it at all, right? So if you look at the angle of it and at where it's being placed, it's not touching it. Just saying, pretty cool. If it were to touch it, it'd burn itself up. It's so much energy, so I can't do that.